SciFi Surprize returns with the Wasp Woman. I didn't realize my James Bond poster was in the background. Getting used to my new setup. Might not look that new, but it is. So, hey everyone. Been a while, but I'm back with more something. Something. I feel like it's falling. Shannon back with SciFi Surprize Series and with the 27th film out of 50, the 50 in here. And I think I'm still kind of on track. Am I? August, September, October, November, December. 5 months to do the remaining 23. That's easy. 5 months, 23 movies. Come on, that's barely even a challenge. The 27th film was the Wasp Woman, and the kind of fun. This looks like ears over antennae, don't they? It looks like little bear ears. Anyway, little teddy bear wasp. Teddy bear wasp. It's little known wasp. And so, as always, the first questions with these is, was this a science fiction film? And yes, thankfully, it actually was a science fiction film because it uses science in a way to create something that does not exist today but exists in the movie. So, as far as I know, I don't know if there's Wasp Women out there. I think so. And it also kind of doubles as a sort of classic horror monster movie, so that was nice. And for me, that was a really nice way to get back into the series, because that's sort of one of the subgenres of science fiction that I like, especially in this era, this 1960s, so black and white. So, and to top it all off, it's a Roger Corman film. So there you go. So I like a lot of Roger Corman films, and this is a lot of the classic Corman touches, such as a very direct setup of what this movie is about. Very, really, I think She Gods of Sharkry was the one that is not like that. Like, the beginning makes almost no sense, but I loved it. But with this one, it was very clear, what was going on. Overtly clear setup, and that's fine. But really, I was a little kind of like, wow, they're really filming around a lot of, well, probably bees, not wasps, yeah, I felt for the people involved, I'll tell you that much. But the chunk of the story, really, the real story sort of centers on this cosmetics company guru, or entrepreneur. I don't know. No, she wasn't an entrepreneur. A woman who runs a cosmetics company and wants to get into, even more kinds of products, youthful oriented, because she's now, of course, aging and is lured in by the power of youth, which the secret could lie within the wasps, right? Because wasps are known for their eternal beauty. So it's kind of, and she meets a scientist, and then the scientist is the wasp guy. And so, it's kind of a science run amok kind of film as well. So I love all that. Like, all of that is totally working for me. And to be honest, it really, I thought it was an interesting story. It was cool to have a female protagonist film where she's not the damsel in distress. Sure, the need or want or desire for eternal youth is, it's kind of pretty standard in terms of stories, or typical. I wouldn't say standard. It's rarely that's a story about a guy, I guess is a good way to say it in terms of gender balance. But, it wasn't in terms of the 60s. I think it's not that bad. Like, it's a little, not terribly forward, but maybe a little bit, so, and, good acting all around, and actually had some sort of kind of fun, sort of classic office type of drama, in characters and stuff like that, and so that was kind of fun too, because a lot of it's set in her workplace, except for, the science stuff and the wasp stuff, which is kind of separate. So, but there were lots of funny ways of showing the science, which I always like, and explaining it, but it's, in a lot of ways it's pretty typical, story. But still, I thought it was good, and the acting was quite good. And it's weird, because sometimes I find, like, when the acting's good, it sort of doesn't really give a lot to the movie. Like, I kind of almost prefer the acting to be bad or amazing as opposed to good. But in this one, I enjoyed it. For me, it just felt like a classic movie that happened to also be a sci-fi monster light horror. I would put it in the horror category, like as well, just because there's lots of there's a fair amount of terror and screaming and stuff like that. So it does have that kind of vibe too. But the horror, when you bring it back down to it, the root of it is in science fiction, so that's fine. So that worked for me. Anyway, it was a great way to get back into the series. I quite enjoyed it. I did fall asleep, of course. To be honest, I don't think any one of these I haven't fallen asleep in, and that more speaks to how tired I am, not really the quality of the film. Although I'll say, the qualities of these films, it's not over the top, except for I think The Brain Machine was still the one that just floored me. That one was amazing. I fell asleep in that one too. So equal opportunity sleeping. Maybe I should just watch them earlier in the day or something. I don't know. I guess the only other thing I was going to mention is that in terms of the quality of the audio-visual quality, the visuals, it wasn't great. There was some sort of it was a little mucky on the side consistently throughout, and sometimes it was a bit fuzzy. But overall, totally watchable, and so I'm not going to really give it a hard time for that. This is actually the first one that's also on Netflix. It's at least on Canadian Netflix, which means it's probably on American Netflix. There's very few things that are on Canadian Netflix that aren't on American Netflix, except for Quebecois television and stuff. There are a few things, but in general, it's pretty much you guys, the Americans, get a lot more than we get. So it is available on Netflix. I meant to watch it on there too, just to see if it was sort of the same format and same quality, but I didn't. Sorry. I should have just cut that part out. Oh well, no editing. I don't do editing, but I do choosing, and see how few titles. That's actually still a fair amount. But it's time to pick the next one, the next movie. What could it be? It's whoa. Is that just one? Yep. Here we go. Here it is. It is Cosmos War of the Planets from 1977. Never heard of it? Awesome. I would highly gander, that this will be science fiction. Science fiction, woohoo! I think it's been a good stretch, although there was a break, so my brain could be a bit fuzzy on the past several, but I feel like it's been a while since it hasn't been a science fiction film. As I said, this one you could definitely qualify it as horror, but it is science fiction, so I'm not worried about that. So, not that I'm worried. It's just movies. You just watch them and enjoy them. I'm not going to get worried about it. It's just all in good fun. So, I hope that review was entertaining, and a big hello to all my to my new subscribers. I know there's a fair amount of sci-fi fans in the bunch, so yay! Awesome. We're going to have a whole science fiction community. If there isn't already, maybe there is one, I just don't know about it. Who knows? Alright, thanks so much for watching.